We're now joined by the head men's rugby coach at Army West Point, Matt Sherman. Coach, thanks for giving us a couple of minutes today.
Thanks for having me, Zach. It's great to be here. Great to see you. Great to see faces in general.
Well, Coach, your team was one of the teams that was impacted by the shortened season. So what was it like for you as a coach when all the news started coming down and you guys found out that your season had come to an abrupt end?
Yeah, it was a whirlwind. We were actually on a trip out in California, and we played on Wednesday, I believe the 11th. And so as of the 10th, we weren't even really talking about it, and news started to develop quickly that day. And I was grateful that at least before a game in the 11th, we were able to say to our team, this may seem crazy, but this very well could be the last game we play this year. So we had that sense going into the game, and the next day, the entire season was canceled. So things moved pretty quickly, and we're disappointed. We feel like we were really on the ascent as a team, and entering the national playoffs. We're looking forward to reaching our best as well as playing Navy, but this is what the times call for. So.
Well, you guys are unique. You guys are a very unique sport where you guys play a competitive season in the fall, your regular season, and then you move into the spring where you're still playing 15s competitive and as you get gear up for Navy and playoffs. So what are some of the challenges with trying to compete over such a long period of time and having that couple month dead period? And how do you keep your team in tip-top shape so they're ready to go for that spring season, for the playoffs and for the Navy game?
Yeah, it's a bit tricky, and I think there's benefits and I think there's some challenges there. And, I think it's about balance is the word that really resonates with me. You don't want to be undercooked. You don't want to be overcooked. You got to balance the academic workload, obviously the core requirements and everything the guys are working through off the rugby field. And, we try and divide the season into some distinct periods where we can really focus on certain things, and some have less of a rugby focus or development as rugby players in different ways in the traditional training. So, I don't know if we found the best formula. We keep tinkering and refining it, but we did really feel like our energy was high. We were on the ascent, and we're disappointed we weren't able to play out the rest of our year.
Well, you've been the head coach at West Point for about 5 years now, and you've had some big wins over Navy, over Air Force, over some top-ranked teams. What moments stand out as the top moment or the top two moments during your time as the head coach here?
I think all our victories over Navy probably stand out the highest. Those have been very memorable. Just watching the guys work so hard to put together a performance that they're so proud of and earn the result. And I think the second thing that stands out to me is graduation and commissioning. Just to see the end of their 47-month journey come together with their families, knowing how hard they've worked to get there, the sacrifices they've made, and just it's so fulfilling to be a part of that process with them.
Away from the rugby pitch, what have you been doing to keep busy that you haven't been allowed to coach and to compete? So how have you been using some of your time, and what have been some of the things you've been doing around the house and just keeping busy during this unprecedented time?
Yeah, a lot of time around the house for sure. Well, I think one of the silver linings in all this has been the time I've had with my family. I have two young daughters, and I've been able to notice, I suppose, some of the detail and depth to their personalities that to be honest, I think I was missing a little bit. It was just with the daily hustle and bustle. And that's been a real blessing to have that time. And look, this is a challenging time for everybody, but I think there are a lot of silver linings in this. I think we've been given a dose of our own vulnerability and humility as mankind, and I think everyone's a little more grateful for their health and the people around them. For me, I miss our team. I miss our guys more than ever. I feel like I appreciate them more going forward. So, yeah, that's a long answer to your question, but yeah, time with the family, a lot of exercise. Fortunately, we live out in the wooded area. I get to hike, which I enjoy, and just reading a lot, just trying to continue to grow and develop myself.
Well, another thing I know you like a lot, just like me, you enjoy a good cup of coffee. I see you in line at Starbucks on post every now and then. Whenever I go to the rugby complex, I smell the coffee. So if you're in the West Point, Highland Falls, the Hudson Valley area, where are you going for a really good cup of coffee on a Saturday morning in the summer?
Yeah, well, we normally our breakfast spot. I'm across the river in Cold Spring. Our breakfast spot is Hudson Hills. But I got to give a shout out to the pantry and my friends, the roaster of the pantry. They roast their own coffee. Very good cup of coffee at the pantry if you're over in Cold Spring or the Garrison area.
Well, I'll have to come across the river and check it out as soon as this is all over. Coach, thanks for giving us a couple of minutes today, and we look forward to seeing you back on the rugby field come September.
Yeah, me too. And thank you, Zach. And stay healthy and go Army, beat Navy, and beat COVID.